Good afternoon, hello, it's Daniel. This is the TriathlonDan YouTube channel. Today is another day of triathlon training. Now, although I'm starting this video out on the bike, I did go for a little run at lunchtime today. And by little, I mean little. It was a whole 16 minutes long. I'll leave the stats on screen. If I'm honest, my head wasn't quite in it. Just wasn't feeling really up for it. But you know, sometimes you've got to kick yourself out the door, haven't you? So I did that, and then toilet issues within a few minutes. So just did 16 minutes, went home and drowned my sorrows in beans on toast. Anyway, heading out tonight on the club ride, but to try and claw back some of that, you know, some of that training that I've missed, we're doing a couple of loops around the local housing estate before I go meet the guys, just to get a little bit more volume in, maybe 2.25 hours in total instead of the 1 hour 52 hours as it might have been without this, because every little counts, doesn't it? And more is more, as we know. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to ride tonight. There's only really one big climb on the route. The rest of it's just rolling. So that's normally a route where I'd give it a beans to try and hang on to the fast guys, or you know, the fastest guys at our club. But I don't know. I'll just see how we go. I've got a big weekend on the bike plan, so I sort of don't want to, you know, go too hard too soon. But we'll see. I know it's Wednesday, and I'm saying, oh, don't want to go too hard too soon because I'm riding lots at the weekend. But you know, as you get a bit older, it affects you for more and more days, as I'm finding.
So the club ride is underway then, and let's have a look at how it played out. I can't believe I narrate these things as if they're some sort of race, but here we are, welcome to YouTube. So this isn't very far into the ride, and I'm already having to try and use my smarts as much as I can because my legs alone will not keep me on this group. This is a bit of a short, sharp climb up to a junction. I'm hoping there'll be loads of traffic at the top and the guys will stop and I'll just get back on the bike fine. That is not the case, but as you can see, it's sort of 7-8%, and then if the last 20 or 30 meters it really kicks up to sort of 12-13%. So I'm just saving that extra 100 or so watts to kick on here as I am, to try and close that gap and try and just hang on the back of this group. Over the top of this hill there's a long, like, false flat descent, so I know that I need to be on the back of the group. It is a headwind out, so if I'd have dropped off the back there, I'd have been having to work into the headwind on a descent to try and close the gap, whereas when I'm in the group here, in theory I can just sort of sit on the back. Now unfortunately the lads do like riding fast and we're still moving here, so I'm still doing 300 watts. I'm not holding the wheel super well, I know that, but I don't want to, because it's, you know, the surface is unpredictable, because we're moving quite fast. I don't want to be right on top of the person in front of me. I'd rather leave a bit of a gap, and if anything bad happens then I've got a bit of space to make a decision. A nice gradual climb here, again still into a headwind, so I'm just trying to surf the wheels, and the guys, you know, the pack does get shuffled around a bit. Some people come backwards through the group, some people go forwards. I'm just trying to make sure I'm following the right wheel and that I don't want to get dropped. So Adam here is just getting distanced a little bit, so I'm just going to go around him while the gap isn't big and just get on this next guy's wheel just to try and hang on to the group for a little bit longer. Adam wasn't getting dropped there, he was just letting a few wheels go. I think he just come back around me again in about 20 seconds, but I'm just trying to use my brain and use that to try and hang on to the group rather than just legs, because like I say, I haven't got the legs to do that. So there we go, there's Adam coming back around again and immediately dropping us. So I do kick on again, just try and get on his wheel, so I'm right at the back there. I don't want to be the last rider. I don't want to be dropped off the back and all the lads be waiting for me. I want to be near the back's fine, but I don't want to be off the back. So again, just that little surge onto Adam's wheel, and it's flattening off here, you know, 2%, so it does, the speed does pick up a bit. A little bit further around to the ride here now, I'm beginning to get dropped, I'm definitely dropped. I think there are a couple of riders behind me still, so I'm not quite at the back. There's a guy in a high-vis jacket there. I think he's probably just cycling home from work or something. I struggle to close the gap to him, never mind my club mates. So, you know, we're now halfway into the ride-ish. I'm beginning to, like, the cracks are beginning to appear. These guys that are good climbers are still good climbers halfway into the route. It's not like they blow up after the first hill or something. And the lads do then pull over to regroup, but I do not stop there. I just keep on rolling straight by.
And the reason I keep rolling at places like that is because, well, they're not far behind me already. I wasn't quite the last person, wasn't far off. Just keeps the group moving a bit better, and means I can ride up the next climb not absolutely flat out, and then still end up with the guys for the rest of the ride. Is the plan.
And as you can see, it didn't take them long at all to catch me and repass me again. It just makes more sense for me to be able to ride my own pace for at least a couple of minutes, try and get my breath back a little bit. It just means I'm less of an inconvenience to the guys. A little bit further around, this is the steepest climb on the route. It was actually a really nice route. There weren't that many steep climbs at all. This was the only one that I class as, you know, properly steep. And here again, it just means I can sit at, you know, between 300 and 330 watts. I'm sort of tempo to sweet spot, I think. Just means I'm more like rested for the bits where I'm going to need to surge on really hard to hold onto a wheel. I think I'm going slightly faster than 4 kilometers an hour, but I don't really know. This is absolutely lovely. I mean, look at the scenery. I do not take for granted for 1 second riding in Derbyshire in the weeknight evenings. It is brilliant. I love summer. Winter, obviously, don't see this very much, but yeah, wicked. I mean, the lads are still pressing on. We're now riding into a tailwind, so the drafting benefit is less. So there's even less of a reason for me to get right on Mark's wheel in front. And to be honest, I stupidly thought, oh, well, it's pretty flat all this way back, so I'll just sort of sit a little bit off the wheel and I'll be okay. I was doing 360 watts. That's quite hard effort. So I am thinking that I'm going to try and close the gap and get on the wheel a bit, because the gap's going out and going out. And I know there's one little like bump here, and normally it wouldn't be an issue. It's only about 20 or 30 seconds of effort, and if you're in the group, you know, chances are you're going to hang on to the group over the top. But I am not. Phil comes around me, he's got a lot more of a kick than I have, so he's kicking on there to try and get on the group. I do the same thing. I'm full gas here, I'm out the saddle, I'm kicking on as hard as I can, thinking, oh, I'll just get on Phil's wheel, and I just couldn't close the gap. And this is what I'm noticing about my fitness at the minute. I feel really good at like aerobic powers, but when I'm doing that sort of effort, my legs just blow up. Like I just like that now, I've got to like almost free wheel because I just can't keep pedaling. It was such like a big like lactic painful burn. It was quite savage. Trying to catch back onto the guys here, clear at the junction, so I get a little bit of a run up on them onto this tiny hill, and we turn left in a minute. And I was thinking, right, I can get back on here, because again, there's only a short sharp climb and then a long descent, so it's just perfect to get on the back of the group and tag on for the descent. But again, I'm kicking on as much as I can. My heart rate is quite low, but that's just because I'm quite tired at the minute. It seems to plummet as soon as I like lift off the gas. And here I'm kicking on over this little bump, thinking I'll just get on the back here. I'm only like 2 or 3 seconds behind, but I just can't do it. I'm giving it everything, literally everything I've got here, because I thought, oh, if they sit up, I'm fine, I'm on. But they're not sitting up for anybody. They are pressing on, and that is not great for me, but you know, what can I do? So a little bit further around again. Now we did regroup, so I'm just having a bit of fun now. It's only flat and rolling on the way back, and a few of the guys are doing this, just sort of, you know, half attacking and getting away from each other and just enjoying riding our bikes. Like, it's not a structured ride, it's not a super like, oh, look after each other ride. It's just a bit of everything. Barry comes straight back round me then, and, you know, we're all like, you know, laughing our heads off as we're doing that sort of thing, just having a bit of fun. And for me, that's what bike riding is about. Although I sit on this channel and talk about power and pacing and all those sorts of things, at the core, I just like riding my bike. So, and lots of my friends do as well, so that's fine. And again here, it's not until I see the video that I realise how much I dangle. I just spend all my time like dangling off the back of a group. If I just close the gap a little bit, then I would be able to save some energy, I think. But you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. They're the same 3 that have dropped me several times already, so, you know, I just know that they're fitter than me. It's a waste of time sometimes trying to claw my way back on when I know they're just stronger. Now, we do only have a couple of hills left before the end, so we're all together again. Coming out of this junction, I'm kicking on here, and I'm hoping they're not going to absolutely like the touch paper, and they don't. I'm still riding hard, but it's not flat out, and this climb here made me think, right, you're not a million miles off, Daniel. You know, a couple of kilos, 10, 20 watts, and you're on the group there. That's how, you know, the difference that had been made. Turns out they weren't going very hard there, and there's more than a couple of kilos or 10, 20 watts to make up. But, you know, at times like that, when I'm a bit fitter, I will be able to be in the group there. A little bit further around again, this is coming up to the last climb on the route, or the last, you know, major climb on the route. I'm trying to hang on. I know that the road's kicking up here, and I just can't do it. I'm fatigued because obviously I'm riding hard the whole way round. The guys are obviously a lot better than me at power to weight, but it's just like moments like this could make me really demoralised, but I'm just enjoying being on the bike and even being in the same like ride as these people. So, you know, I'm not getting demoralised by it. Work to do, but good night out. Right, we've got to hurry this clip up because Liz has got to boil the kettle. But she didn't wait today when I was on a meeting, on a call. Very important, so important. Strolls in here. Dealers. But it's fine. That hand gesture is not appropriate for this channel.
Anyway, also, what you're not wearing is not appropriate for this channel either. This is tea, so we're having, what is it? Omelette and salad.
Falafel balls.
Oh, and falafel balls, Mediterranean falafel balls, chickpeas, etc. Suck on that, nutrition YouTube comments. Ride done justice, that's on screen, really good. Glad I did that extra bit at the beginning as well. I think it's like 2 hours 25. Just means that it's a bit of a bigger ride, so I'll make up for the lack of running at lunchtime. Felt good towards the end. I don't have that big kick, or I've seemed to blow up quite fast after 30 seconds of going really hard. Maybe that's normal, but then after that, I feel like at the minute I can then drop down to like 220 watts and hold it quite consistently and just feel like I'm riding really easily at that as well. So taking that encouragement, just got to keep chipping away at all the aims and things I've got, and it will come together. I know it will, just not urgently. Rupert's keeping an eye out over his kingdom. He'd love to get a pigeon, but he's never ever been fast enough. And I'm going to end today's video there, so thank you very much for watching. Hit like, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Bye.